Ruth was diagnosed with Crohn's disease at a young age while she was still in school. Her journey began in a world of uncertainty marked by unexplained pain, unanswered questions and a deep sense of isolation.
It was so hard growing up and not quite knowing whether or not everyone else would understand what I was going through.
Crohn's disease, a chronic condition that affects the digestive system, impacts approximately 1 in 123 people each year. I wanted to step into this often overlooked world to uncover and share the emotional and physical realities of living with Crohn's. Ruth was diagnosed with Crohn's disease when she was just 13. Her life changed almost overnight. Suddenly, she had to adjust every part of her routine, learning not to just live with the illness, but to adapt and find strength in the face of it.
Basically, I came back from a trip away with my family and I was not well at all. I was constantly losing weight. I had never experienced anything like it. I basically just was not myself anymore. I was missing going out with my friends, sport, everything. It just wasn't me as a person. So my mum and dad kind of noticed first. I, being the 13-year-old who wanted to do everything, thought I was completely fine and carried on just with life as it was at that time. And at that point, they basically called me in and they said, we'll do a scope. We don't think you have Crohn's or colitis. Like, we could say basically 99% that you don't have this. And yeah, turns out that I did, and the scope confirmed that, and I've had Crohn's ever since.
To gain a deeper understanding of the medical side of Crohn's disease, I spoke with Dr. Neil Robinson, a gastroenterologist.
Hi, come on in there. So Crohn's is where the body attacks itself. It's an inflammatory process and it begins in the large intestine. It's not curable, unfortunately, but it's where the body is more or less attacking itself.
So what are the side effects of Crohn's?
Well, Crohn's, what you would say is weight loss, unexplained, and frequent visits to the bathroom with diarrhoea. There could be blood as well in the poo, and it's just they have unexplained bruising. Those are the main ones that we would see when they first come in.
You face a lot of challenges.
Every day is a challenge.
Stephen's life has been turned upside down since he was diagnosed with Crohn's 3 years ago. What started as an occasional discomfort quickly escalated into a daily battle.
For most people, if they look at me, I don't look no different to the person next to me. Do you know what I mean? I don't. But even though sitting here, like, my legs are a wee bit sore, and every day I deal with chronic bone pain.
So just talk me through
maybe
that.
The first time I was diagnosed, the night before I was out having a couple of pints and I felt grand. And before I was initially diagnosed, I would get people talking to me all the time, even in shops when I was going on every day, and always tell me I look sick and I look grey. Do you know what I mean? And I never knew for months, because you don't know you're sick until you're sick. You don't know until it hits you. And from my first hospital admission then, it's whenever pain really, really increased. It was never as bad as before I went in the hospital. But obviously it was just the start of the disease progressing. And I went from maybe using the toilet 10, 12 times a day and passing very small amounts to 25 times a day. Sometimes not sleeping at all. If I went back into my bed, or if I tried to relax in the house, I couldn't relax, and inside the space of a couple of seconds I would get sharp pains and be running to the toilet, and it would leave me crying. Do you know what I mean? The pain was literally excruciating. It was pain that I've never felt before. So I was on there for a couple of months, and I would say for maybe the next 8 or 9 months, it was a constant process of going into the hospital, coming back out, going into the hospital, coming back out, and being tucked out of the house in ambulances all the time. Do you know what I mean? When my mother's in the house too, it wasn't nice. And sometimes having to even get tucked off the bathroom floor, throwing up from the bathroom floor and not being able to move with non-ambulances, and without my Gelvins probably. Do you know what I mean? If it wasn't for Emma, I'd be dead, so I'd always be thankful for it.
I think my whole life changed that, and I never really admit that for the sheer fact that I don't like to admit that, but it went from me always playing sports. I was always open to do things. I was always at friends' birthday parties to I didn't want to go out. I didn't want to leave my house. I was so worried about how I looked, how I felt. I think it just threw a completely different outlook on life. My life completely changed that day that I was diagnosed, and so yeah, it just changed everything.
In the next episode, we'll explore what people with Crohn's disease do to manage their condition.